Heroes, unite! Today, I salute DanTDM. Or I should say yesterday, since I've been trying to do this video since 7. I seriously have no idea what's even going on with the computer. I don't know if it's the software that I'm using, the webcam, I have no idea. It's just been going haywire. I first tried doing it sometime between 6 and 7 p.m. And then I tried about midnight or so. Now I'm doing it again and it's about 3 in the morning. And what's worse is I'm just trying to make this video quick and get it posted. Even if I have to wait till in the morning to post it, I'm just trying to make the video. So, first of all, I think any YouTuber can relate to this. Second of all, first, this is also going to be a bit of a review on DanTDM's book. Yeah, there. Anyways, long story short, it's quite a good book. Really great illustration and great storyline. And something I usually don't even say about most books because, honestly, I can't really identify parts of the book, but this one has a really great story to it. Of course, I guess it is a story in the first place, but still. And great illustration. Possibly the only thing missing would be something that I think all DanTDM fans want. More explosions. Seriously, who doesn't like explosions? Well, I guess the people who end up getting hurt by said explosions, but when you're the one doing the exploding, it is kind of enjoyable. As well as if you're watching exploding and no one's actually getting killed or something. Maybe if they're just getting pushed away due to the force. But it's not so enjoyable when they get killed. But or severely hurt. But anyways, first of all, sorry if my reaction time is a bit slow. I've been up for a while, and as I stated, it's about 3 in the morning. Speaking of which, I actually finished the book quite quickly. I got it yesterday, about 12 hours from the time I'm getting this recorded. About 3:30 p.m. I finished it about 6. So I got it about the time that DanTDM made his video yesterday. I made a comment on it saying I would do it in a few minutes, but just like do this video in a few minutes. But just like I previously stated, the computer has gone haywire. And I actually have a few things to say. This video is mainly specifically for DanTDM, but I'm posting it so everyone can see. So if you agree or disagree, you can make a comment below, as well as hopefully send it to DanTDM, which I will too, because I really think DanTDM should take this into account. First of all, for people like myself who have been in a southern state, actually being able to see DanTDM when he goes on one of those tours or meet and greets anywhere, it's kind of not easy, especially when not everyone has the money and the distance that they need to actually be able to go there. And I know in this video he actually stated that he was going to have some mini tours, but they're in 3 of the northern states, still on the same side of the country, but not enjoyable when they're pretty much 1/4 of the country away. So I think he should make a tour for each and every single state. And honestly, Dan, I don't really think money would be an issue because the amount of money I saw it said on the Wikipedia page that you get. I don't know how true or how false that is, but I still don't think that'll be a problem. But, yeah. anyways, I guess it really comes down to whether you want to or not, which I really, for my personal opinion, I really think you should. I mean, for Pete's sake, I don't think you should just do meet and greets for people in England. I mean, I know there are still some people who won't be able to see you, but far less people that won't be able to see you in England than there would be in America. I mean, for Pete's sake, America is one of the biggest countries in the world, while Europe, or more accurately England, is one of the smallest. So, yeah. Plus, southern states like my state, are usually smack dab in the middle of the path of hurricanes, like the one that just happened. Which, by the way, if anyone viewing this happens to have heard about the hurricane, or happens to be a Christian, please pray for all the people who got anything damaged due to it. I'll admit my state was one of the few southern states unaffected by this. But Florida, on the other hand, where I have some relatives, wasn't so lucky. I don't think any of my relatives got affected. Not really sure at the moment. I mean, I don't really talk to them. My grandmother mainly talks to them. But, yeah. But anyways, another suggestion, Dan, is maybe, well, first of all, I like the book so much, I actually do hope you make a new one. Or make another one. And here's an idea. Maybe you should somehow turn it into a custom mod adventure. Or at the very least, make it into an animated web series. I mean, well, one thing that I've noticed from a lot of anime and manga at least, and a lot of other famous franchises, including Marvel and DC, all began in a kind of comic book graphic novel style form, and then became TV show series. I'll admit there was a lot changed, like probably the main difference would be lack of graphic violence or some form of censorship in some way, form, or fashion. Won't get into too much detail because if you're a fan of the series, you know the exact censorship that has happened. Or at least, I should say, an extreme fan maniac of the series, but still. I mean, no offense to people like that. But, with the book doing so well, that's my opinion. And honestly, for Pete's sake, I really don't see how you can become more famous than you already are. I mean, possibly the only people in the world who wouldn't know about you would be the people who don't have access to the internet. Which isn't that much, really. I mean, there's probably only 1 or 2 countries in the world who don't have access, and within the countries that do, probably only 10 to 5% of the population don't have access. And then again, I really wouldn't know because, well, I'm only human, and I don't know everything. And even if I looked at it calculated, that still can always change at any given time. So, yeah. And also, Dan, and all YouTubers who have ads accessible on their videos, well, you might want to find some way to work with the people putting the ads on there to make sure that they aren't something inappropriate. Because then, I've actually gone and tried to watch some of your videos, and then I see an ad for a horror movie. And then it gets me so freaked out I don't even want to look at the computer screen half the time. That's not enjoyable. Especially when several times I've actually gone to watch a video and then I see an ad for an R-rated movie. If it's supposed to be kid-friendly, then they shouldn't be doing ads to R-rated movies. Or even stuff like zombie movies. I mean, I like zombies as much as the next person, but zombie movies are more graphic than I can handle. About the most graphic type of zombie I could probably deal with would be a Minecraft zombie with a scary texture pack. That's probably about as graphic as I could get without, well, wanting to, excuse the terminology, throw up through my eyeballs. I mean, yeah. But anyways, Dan, I actually do have a bit of a request, which is one reason why I was mentioning that whole, maybe you should make some sort of tour visit to every single state. The other reason, of course, being someone else in the comments on that video, even, and others have actually suggested that too, is actually because, well, I want to know, could I please be your apprentice? I mean, I mentioned it in many of your videos, and even emailed it to you, though I doubt you'd receive it. Then again, because I'm not on your side looking at your email, I have no idea if you've seen it or not. So, yeah. But maybe you should do some sort of competition thing to choose someone as an apprentice. Not necessarily to continue your channel, but so you can teach YouTubers or new YouTubers, or I guess it would be called noob-tubers. Yeah, not real good at making up words. Well, some words are good, some words are bad, some words are like, what the hoo-ha did you just do? But anyways, I think you should do that. I mean, great way to interact with fans and can help other YouTubers. I mean, seriously, why not? Famous YouTuber, new YouTubers, makes perfect sense to me. And who knows, you might be able to do a collab video with them. That would not only boost the fame of your channel, but even the fame of their channel as well in the process. Of course, I really don't care about my fame. I'm just wanting to be an apprentice because I'm so new to YouTube, I don't even know what to do on YouTube half the time. Plus, I'm kind of wanting to turn YouTube into a job myself, so yeah. And maybe do a competition where you can, well, in some way, form, or fashion, kind of do a Day with DanTDM competition thing that I've seen other celebrities, both in real life and on TV shows, do, where they basically have a competition. You do a certain thing, and then you get to be able to spend a day with said celebrity. I will admit it will probably be hard for people like me who don't exactly live in the same country, but it would be a great idea nonetheless. I don't know how you would get it to work, because I'm not really good with coming up with ideas like that. Well, more like I can come up with an idea, but I don't know how to put any ideas into effect. And I have no idea if my video is actually doing this, but it looks like, yeah, the reaction time on it's a bit slow. So if it happens to act that way in the actual video, I'm really sorry. I seriously don't know what's going on. But, oh, I actually do have to say, I really am looking forward to seeing the Pokemon Sun and Moon Let's Plays. Though I do have a question that I think a lot of your fans are probably wondering. Are you going to do one of them or both? I personally would, like to see both, because version differences. Main ones being, of course, the time. One's night, one's day, but still. And also, I did actually make a comment suggesting that you do that, but I noticed probably strange request. But is that because I did that, which was actually saying that if someone agrees, do hashtag Pokemon Dan 40 level 45 or whatever your original Pokemon like username was, or were you actually intending on doing this in the first place? I do kind of want to turn my channel into a kind of Q&A YouTube talk show thing, which was mentioned in my intro. I just don't know how to, well, put that into effect. So, yeah, I think that's actually it. I know there were some other things I wanted to say, but with this whole thing messing up and me being super tired, I cannot remember. So, Oh, I do have some mod packs that I think would be really fun for you, Dan, to try, or at least really interesting to get your reaction to them. I'm not going to put them on Technic Launcher because all the whole, you need a username, you need to get permission. I'm not going to go through all that. I'll admit, I will say this, just so I don't get copyrighted or anything, all the rights and ideas for the mods go to the mod creators. While I, on the other hand, well, still, of course, keep the rights for the idea for the mod pack, but it's the mod creators, the mods themselves, and of course DanTDM's reviews on them that inspired me to put them into a mod pack. And there is actually a few that I can think of. An anime one, aside from the 4 or so that I already have, which would have any mod in it that deals with anime, be it Naruto, Dragon Ball, Pokemon, you name it. A Pokemon one, and a video game one, and as well as a Minecraft verse one. The video game one would be stuff like Mario, Legend of Zelda, Metroid Prime. Basically, mods that bring qualities from other major video games into Minecraft. And Minecraft Verse would be the same thing, but bring in anything from any random franchise, like DC, Marvel, stuff like that. And I do plan on making my own mod, which Dan, whenever I figure out how to, I would really appreciate it if you'd try it. It's actually one where, long story short, it does kind of require you to make a new world, not because it generates new ores or stuff, but because it just would work better. And so it wouldn't seem overpowered. But long story short, each mob, sorry, still trying to figure out and get used to saying mob and mod. That's still very hard for me to remember. And then when I try to explain them to my mom, because she asks questions, it doesn't help any when both of us seem to keep saying the wrong thing. Then again, it is kind of a tongue twister. I mean, I know what they are, but sometimes you try to say one word and then it comes out another word. Especially when you try to use both in the same sentence. But really, it doesn't really add anything other than a new gaming experience. I got the idea from some music videos. Mainly one that's on my Minecraft playlist about chasing the mobs. I think that's the title of it. I really can't remember at the moment. But basically, once you get a certain number of kills, certain mobs will stop attacking. You get about 50, anyone that would be affected by, actually, you get about 20, anyone that would be affected by the Bane of Arthropods enchantment, those stop chasing after you. And you get to 100, the close combat ones stop attacking you. 150, long range. 200, the explosive ones. And then you have to get up to 1,000, and then the boss mobs actually run away from you. Of course, you can still kill them and get the drops. All it means is, instead of them running towards you, you have to chase after them. So it kind of turns it around in your favor. Of course, if you add any new mod, let's say you want to make a mod pack with it, which, by the way, I'm completely fine if you do. You don't even have to ask me for permission, considering it's not really doing much to your Minecraft other than making it to where you chase down the mobs. But if you add any, I'm going to make it to where if you add any new mods or take any away from the original world, the whole amount of kills will kind of reset. And then if you get killed by them, for every kill that they make, the amount of kills go up by just 1. Like, let's say, or rather go down. I'm not really sure what the terminology is, but let's say you get up to 50 kills. And actually, 50 for arthropods, or Bane, the ones that will be affected by Bane of arthropods, 100 for close combat, 150 for long range, actually, wait a minute, 50 for the ones that will be affected by Bane of arthropods, 100 for those that would actually be, that are actually passive until you provoke them, like, which an Enderman would be considered that. Like, just look at them straight in the eye, or they won't attack unless you attack them. Yeah, let's see. Sorry, I keep doing this. My memory's going haywire, but 50 Bane of Arthropods mobs, 100 passive turn aggressive mobs, 150 close combat, 200 long range, 250, I guess you could call them suicide bomber ones, or basically creeper mobs. What creeper-like mobs that would basically go, attack you, blow up, and stuff like that. Those would leave you alone, or rather, they'd run away. They still have a chance of going after you even before you reach that level. It's just the closer you get to that level, the more guaranteed they'll leave you alone. And it'll kind of be like real life, because let's say you build up a gigantic reputation against someone, that person will leave you alone, but there'll always be at least one that will be considered either brave or stupid enough to attack you. And it doesn't matter if you have diamond armor on or not. As long as you get the kill done, it still counts. And then you get up to 1,000, the boss mobs actually will run away from you most of the time. There'll still be at least a 1% chance that a mob will attack you once you get to that level or higher. But let's say you get to 250 kills. And then I don't know, a creeper comes up and kills you. It would just lower your amount of kills to 249. So you'd have to kill one more to get it back up to 250. So as long as you keep killing them, or rather keep attacking them, no, actually it would be keep killing them, it shouldn't be that big of an issue. And, as an added bonus, I know on lots of mobs, you can actually tame them. Not just in vanilla Minecraft, but let's say you get a new mod in. Yeah. Let's say you install a mod that allows you to tame mobs that normally wouldn't be, like the pet spiders one. Well, you do that. That's all fine and all, but this one will actually let you tame any mob in the game. Mainly, of course, the hostile ones. I mean, the normal ones, I guess, could still be tamed. Actually, yeah, I think it would make it more fun if it would let you tame all the mobs. The passive ones would, of course, have to be tamed with a specific food like normal. Not sure how I would get the rest of that straightened out, but if they have a normal taming method in-game, it would keep that. But hostile ones, most of the ones where you tame them, you have to use a certain material, like bones for skeletons, rotten flesh for zombies, string for spiders, and stuff like gunpowder for creepers and ender pearls for endermen. Well, instead, all you gotta do is catch up to them with an empty hand and right-click them. Then they'll team up with you. And you won't even have to worry about, let's say you accidentally hit them. If they see you attacking, now, well, basically, stay out of your way. And if they do attack the mob, they're going to attack on the other side. So let's say you're standing here. And by the way, pretend my head is the opponent that you're attacking. You're standing here and attacking. And then the mob that you've teamed up with will be over here attacking. That way, not only will your sword or whatever weapon you're using not hit the mob, but you can focus all your attention on the enemy. And they'll be getting attacked from two sides. And also, if the mob dies, you don't have to worry about anything, because you could revive them just as easily as you revive yourself. The only thing is you'd have to know where your spawn point is. And they'd respawn back where you spawn. And of course stay in a sitting down position waiting for you to come back. So you could either go and kill yourself with the kill command, or just, well, basically walk back. Using, of course, a compass, or teleport back if you have a corresponding mod. Sorry about that. My nose, ever since I developed facial hair, my nose feels like it's always running. And I can't tell if it is or not. And I kind of don't want to get up to get a tissue. I would, but, well, I don't know how to simply pause this and then edit the stuff out, so, yeah. I'll just leave it at that. But anyways, in my mob, or mod, See, I'm doing it again. In my mod, if you do happen to accidentally swing your sword or whatever weapon you're using, it may be a chainsaw from the ore spawn, or an axe, or even a pickaxe. But anyways, if you end up hitting your pet slash teammate, you don't have to worry because it'll have a friendly fire option on it. That way, let's say you accidentally attack, you won't end up hitting your teammate like you normally would. That even goes for normal pet wolves. They won't even be affected by a weapon or an attack unless it's done by a hostile mob, or essentially anything else other than you. Of course, yeah, I think I could make, I guess I could either A, make it compatible with the Battle Pets mob, or mod, or have it have similar qualities, at least to the extent of you could make them fight for you and choosing their attacks, but yeah, I'm not really sure how to get all that worked out. That may be a bit of an issue trying to figure out how to do it, because I don't want to go into someone else's level of expertise and essentially be copyrighting or anything. But it should get all the issues with getting a pet cleared up. And if you happen to add a mod that would allow you to get a pet that you normally wouldn't have as a pet and gives you a method to tame them, actually you can choose the option of having an item to tame the mob or not. And you don't have to worry about feeding mobs certain items for two reasons. One, you have the option to choose to have no hunger on your pets slash teammates. Two, if your pet slash teammate does get hungry while you're fighting, and let's say there's a food item on the ground, now go ahead and grab it. And if there isn't one, then they'll go off searching, find their own, and then come back. Of course, they won't leave your render distance. And I guess I could put some sort of little GUI thingy to let you know the constant qualities of your pet slash teammate if they happen to walk off like that, so you can basically keep an eye on them. But as long as they're in your line of view, and that even means they aren't behind a block, you can just simply either scroll over them with the damage indicators or right click them. Now the hunger stuff, it won't really show. Unless, of course, you right click or they're out of view. But even then, if they go walking off, it'll give you a message in the chat. Your pet slash teammate has gone off in search of food. And you don't have to worry and thinking, oh no, I'm going to be without protection. Actually, no. If something attacks you, even before your pet slash teammate has it returned, they'll teleport back immediately. And of course, I will give a specific food setup for each mob, including the ones in mods. I may have to figure out what to do for them because there are so many. But I know this much. If they're humanoid, they can basically eat the same food you do. Others may have a specific diet, and others may just be able to eat anything. Not really sure how I'll work that, but they can go eat food on their own or pick it up if they happen to see it. And let's say you get a ton of something you don't really need. You could, even if you wanted to, right-click one of your pets/teammates and give them certain commands. Specifically like hunt down specific mobs. And then if you tell them to hunt them down, you could tell them to either point them out so you know where they are, or you can just tell them to attack them. Or both. Which then they'd point, wait till you notice it, and then they'd start attacking. You can get all that set up, even to the point of you tell them don't attack. Even if they normally would attack, you can tell them to not attack. You could also tell them to go and search for certain structures. Like, here's probably a good idea that I'm going to be adding. I'm not really sure. You can give your opinion in the comments, but it would basically be, well, let's say you have something you don't really need, like maybe some cobblestone or something. All the pets and teammates will have a little inventory. And for the sake of storage, the amount of spaces in the inventory depend on the amount of HP they would have. And when you tame them, unless by the mod or by Minecraft standards, they would get a health increase, they will normally keep the same HP they would out when they're not tamed. Ugh. And for each space of HP, they would have that same level or same amount of inventory space. Let's say you have something you don't really need. You can give it to them. If it happens to be a food item, of course, they will go ahead and eat it, though you can tell them to not eat unless you specifically right-click them with said food item. Or you toss it out to them. Basically, you can tell them, even though they will normally eat the stuff, you'll have a ton of settings. And basically, you can cancel and nullify any that would normally be affected. Like you can tell them to only eat it if you hand it to them, only eat it if it's in their inventory, only eat it if they pick it up themselves, or any random combination of those three. But let's say you have something you don't really need. You can tell them to go find the nearest village. And of course, if you're underground, they'll automatically teleport there for safety. And it should only take 10 seconds to teleport there and back. I would make it less, but that would make it overpowered. And I would make it more, but then that might put you at a disadvantage. And make it to where they can wear armor too. And if they're an animal, it has to be horse armor. Even if they're not necessarily a horse, but they'll wear it in the corresponding way that corresponds with what they look like. But if they're something humanoid, kind of like a creeper, zombie, skeleton, something like that, they'll wear it in a corresponding way that matches their model. So, yeah, that and certain ones you can actually ride. There will be a few that you won't be able to because it would just look weird or inappropriate depending on the mob. I'll let you guys figure out what would look good and what wouldn't. And if it's a humanoid mob like a zombie or skeleton, they'll carry you above their heads. And then if they attack something, now, well, they'll have to put you down to attack it, basically. And I just thought of something. Since creepers and ones that would basically be considered suicide bombers end up, well, essentially killing themselves because they exploded, they will go back to your spawn point, but I think there should be something added to where they'll come back. So I think I'll add a little GUI thing that you can go to and click, and it'll give you a list of all your pets. And if they have died and gone to your spawn point, you can click them, and this function will only work if they have died and gone to the spawn point. If they have not died and gone elsewhere, actually, I know if they died and they've gone to your spawn point or your house, if you've built a house, or any other random part that you've set up to be where you go when you die, basically, you can teleport them back to you. You can also do that if you've told them to go search for something. And I won't just search for mobs and structures. Now also they can also search for items. As well as, if you wanted to, you could have them search for, let's say, there's a specific item that you want, and it can only be found in a chest. Or just, you're looking for an item that's found in a chest anyways, even if you can find it through other methods. They will find a way to get there. And originally, they'll go off on their own to try to find it. But you can tell them to follow you and then just make some random noise when they're near it. Or you can tell them to go on ahead and find it. Which, if you do that, you get two other options. Either A, you can tell them to go there, teleport back, and then give you a map of some sort. Not sure how that would work. But you could do that, or you can tell them to track it down, and you would be standing near them, and they would only move 6 blocks at a time, or at least stay within 6 blocks of you while showing you. So they could either walk there on their own, and then find it, and then teleport back and show you where it is, or they could stay by your side and just lead the way. Not sure how all that would work out. But if you add the Herobrine, any mod that adds Herobrine or Herobrine, depending on how you pronounce it, then he's the only one that you would not be able to tame or befriend. Instead, any mob that's in the game, it'll nullify the entire effects of my mod except the whole taming feature. In which case, you would have to tame them with a certain item. You tame them with said certain item, and then they'll be essentially saved from Herobrine's spell. And then they'd fight by your side to take down Herobrine, or Herobrine, as I prefer to call him. So, yeah. Plus, if I can get it to work, I should be able to get it to work on multiplayer servers. And, of course, they'll still all have their same weaknesses, but a bit advanced AI, so they still act the same as normal mobs to avoid that stuff. Like the zombies will hide under trees and such. And of course, let's say you're walking through an area like a desert. Well, now just hide in the closest cave. Now, other mobs won't actually attack your teammates. If, let's say, you have a teammate that's a zombie, other zombies and other mobs will not attack that zombie, because it'll be set to where, well, at least not initially, because it'll be set to where, well, other mobs react to the tamed ones that are tamed to you just as they would if it was not tamed. And just think, oh, it's a normal mob. Unless you tell the mob to attack them, in which case they'll attack even if they normally wouldn't. Now, if a mod or normal vanilla Minecraft already has the AI set up to where they will attack, my mod pack will not nullify that, or mod will not nullify that. Basically, if they would get attacked by another mob, or just another mob in general, they'll still be getting attacked by it no matter what you do. But if they won't attack it normally, then the only way they'll attack was my mod added will be if you actually tell your teammate to attack that mob. So, yeah. I guess all that's left to say is, one, if that doesn't really make sense, you'd have to ask me in the comments. And two, I am going to be posting another video up shortly. It's probably going to be sometime later in the day, since I probably am going to be going to bed shortly. But, yeah, I'll try to make that one shorter. Sorry this one was a long one, but, well, like I stated, I've had a ton of stuff that I wanted to say. I'm honestly not even sure if this is going to get posted right now or not. It actually takes 3 times the amount of time that it took to record the video to actually get this thing uploaded. By the time I'm saying this, it's 48 minutes and a half. So, 48 minutes and a half times 3 is how long it'll take before it gets up. It'll take another 48 minutes for it to compress it, then a third 48 minutes to get it uploaded. So if I were to upload it literally right now, it's 3:44, so it would probably take until, I'd estimate about 5 or 6 a.m. before it actually got uploaded. And I don't think I'm going to be staying up that long, so yeah. But anyways, Dan, if you do happen to see this, please do respond. I'd actually like your opinion on my mod that I'm planning on making, as well as to know if you'd actually try it. So, yeah, I guess all that's left to say is bye, and I really hope I get some new ideas for videos soon, because I'm fresh out of ideas. I'll do anything that's not violating the YouTube Code of Conduct, and of course I think DIYs and reviews are probably out of the question, because DIYs require brain power and, well, space, and what you see behind me is about as much space as I have. And because, as you can see with my face, I can't really move that far away and you still be able to see me. I mean, I probably could go to the back of the room, but I don't really have any room to do a DIY. My brain would probably go kaput. And yes, I did say kaput. And aside from that, the reviews, can't really review anything aside from this book, or even unbox anything, because no space. The computer desk only has enough for, well, the computer stuff. And because the camera's on a wire, if I move it, it may shut off the camera. In fact, I'm very iffy about even bumping the desk. It's that sensitive. In fact, this isn't even a normal computer desk. It actually used to be my mom's dresser when she was younger. Can't remember how young. I think it was, all I can remember is it was between the age of graduating high school and a 5-year-old. Somewhere between there. That's all I can remember. She's told me many times, but anyways, at the moment, that's not important. Basically, I'm just saying I don't have the room for the other stuff. Can't, and don't have the brain capacity / brain power. Or I guess it would be more like I don't have the mindset to be able to do it, rather than the brain capacity and brain power, since I believe everyone has the brain capacity and brain power to do anything, but maybe not necessarily the right mindset. So I guess all that's left to say is bye, and I'll speak to you guys in the next video.